I think with all of the streaming platforms, with radio taking a dive, radio is not as important and mix show is not as important as it was when I was coming up. DJs were fighting to stay relevant. But in every catastrophe, it breeds opportunity. And what I learned about the pandemic and being quarantined and not being able to go out to these live events, you know what? Me, a guy who founded and created the Global Spin Awards, I was reintroduced to the importance of the DJ. Like seeing what D-Nice and so many of these other DJs are doing and how they are taking their futures, their careers in their own hands, and they're doing these IG lives and they're doing it. And for me, okay, yes, we all gotten used to a world of playlists and hitting a button and it kept going, you know, your music is playing, your favorite, but listening to these guys, it reintroduced me to the importance of them. I'm like, yo, I love, if I got the choice between listening to a playlist or going on IG Live and listening to my man SNS, DJ whatever, you know, some of my favorites, D-Nice, Clark Kent, whoever, I'm having a ball. And they're really making me like have to sit back and say, okay, what time is such and such coming on? Because that's what I do with my time now. I don't listen to, you know, the radio mix show. I'm listening to these guys and they're carving out their own lane now through whether it's Instagram. A lot of them have moved over to Twitch, but they're doing their thing and they are drawing fans back in and showing people, look, the DJ is not dead. And I love it because I am seeing some of these DJs rise to new levels, even in a pandemic. In terms of, as I said earlier, in every catastrophe, in every disaster, it breeds opportunity. And we're living in a pandemic. We're living in a world of hate. We're living in, you know, a time when the whole world is stepping up and they're protesting for what is right. They want to be on the right side of history. But you know what else I noticed? A generation that we have given hell to. Like the millennial generation has been billed as the worst generation ever. They were lazy, they were entitled. They thought that they were just supposed to come in and be bosses. Well, guess who's leading the charge toward change? It is that generation in Gen Y who has stepped up. It's not my generation, it's not Gen Xers, it's not the baby boomers before me. It is the millennials and Gen Y who has really stepped up and they said enough is enough. We don't see the world the way you old timers see it. We don't see it in color. Now, this is where my hip hop roots come in at. I believe hip hop has united the world. I truly do. That music, it has gone from the South Bronx to all around the world, and they're all listening to variations of it, whether it is the Afro beats, whatever it is. They're all listening to the same music. They're living the same culture. And we're seeing our whack, uneducated, horrible president is seeing, as much as he is spewing hate and as much as he wants to sell us on the fact that this is a divided world, it's 50% white people who are marching in the streets, holding Black Lives Matter signs up. It is all kinds of people who are saying enough is enough. So I'm inspired, I'm encouraged, and I'm so happy to see, you know, this generation who, in my opinion, they have been really beat up for so many years, this millennial generation really leading the charge on world and global change toward uniting and not dividing.